Good morning, it's Cail. So of course when I go live the heat goes on. So that's that little shoo in the background. Okay, that's great. But anyhow, welcome. Welcome to Celestial Realms. I'm going to be doing just kind of like a off the cuff kind of talk about my doodle art. And maybe talk about some plans about what I want to do with the channel in this year, this brand new year of 2024. So let me go ahead and do some Spotify, so maybe that'll like tune out some of that heat going on. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Pups are asleep. The sun came out, but apparently today it's supposed to rain. So we'll see how that goes. But at least right now it's not like gloomy in here. So that's nice. Yeah, my ears are ringing really bad today. I went to the dentist this morning to get my little toothies cleaned, and my ears are just ringing for whatever reason. That's how I woke up, and that's part of how tinnitus works, or tinnitus, however you want to say it works. It's just some days it's good and some days it's bad. So let's see, first I want to go over my little coloring book. So I didn't do any more on the Magical Dawn work, but I have another book by Hannah Carlson. I actually have three, but this one's called Daydreams, and I think the other one is called Summer Nights. So I had already started in here, like on the first page, so I decided this weekend over the New Year little weekend that I would just, I don't know, just putter around in there. Oh, let me check if the chat's working before I get started. It's so weird. Say good morning. I can spell. Hopefully there it goes. It showed up, so I know it's working. So anyways, back to what I was talking about. So I like all her books. Some of them, they have like some similarities with like the way that the flowers look in the buildings, but that's okay. So I was working on just the beginning of the book. I stuck that paper in there. And so what I worked on, I had already done these yellow flowers. And then this weekend, and I think I had done the mushrooms. So this weekend I did this little bug, and I did the bird, and I did these little berries. But I might actually go back on some of these, maybe just darken them up, maybe just a couple of them. I'm listening to the music, so you're like, what? That's like a little upbeat for the way that I feel. We'll try and see if there's another softer one. So let me hold it up so you can see. There's my bird, which I actually had a lot of fun coloring in, and the little berries. I might want to go back in parts of these, maybe like just make a couple of them darker. Alright, this music is just not it. So let's go back and find another, like, I don't know, list. Something more chill. That's better. So I've got the, so I used on the bird, aside from the color pencils, I use some of those gel markers. And I think I used one of the metallic here. Metallic, it's kind of like a, I guess, copper color pencils. So I like the way it came out. And then I'll probably like continue on. This is just like on and off, but it does have you know, other nice drawings, but you can see some of the buildings are similar, like the onion towers and whatnot. The camera's doing this autofocus. I wonder if I should turn that off. I don't know. So lots of coloring in the future. Let me set that aside. Okay, So for quite some time, I've done what they call doodle art. Other people call it Zentangle. Zen, like you're in the Zen mode. But I think Zentangle is an actual term that somebody like trademarked or whatever. Like that's their brand of their doodle art. I'm not positive. I would have to look that up, but I think that that's what Zentangle is actually like a legal name. So I just call it doodle art. I actually have them just in a file folder, which is kind of lame. I should buy a portfolio to put them in. But I guess I'll get around to that. So I'll just kind of show you some of the things I've done before. And this one down here in the corner, it says 2012. So that's how long ago I did this one. I was kind of like really into it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I don't have, what's that kind of camera called? The DSLR or whatever? I don't have that kind of camera. So I got like the little infinity symbol in there in the tree. And this is like a little spider bug and a little bird. One dragonfly. I don't even know what made me draw that. I have no idea what the inspiration for that was. It just kind of came out of the blue. And then I've got this one here. Put that in the frame. It's called Joy. This one I experimented and added some color. Up here there's some yellow and some light blue and some purple, red, green, blue. I don't know if I like it with the color. I don't know if let's put it this way, I don't know if I like it, the color with the, just black and white, or maybe what I should do is like all color with like the black background, you know, as a base, or just no color, because it's okay, but it's not like my favorite. But I do like some of the little, you know, Zentangle, you know, or doodle patterns that I did. So if you're not familiar with what Zentangle actually is a kind of just like doodle art, but with patterns. So I did buy a couple of books when I first started doing it. This one's called Totally Tangled by Sandy Steen Bartholomew. And so what you do is you start off with, say, like your kind of your frame. I call it the framework, your base of your sections that you're going to do the patterns in. So this I'm going to put an eye. Like I'm going to figure out how to color an eye halfway decent if I can. And then these other areas would be different Zentangle patterns. And I might do and like put S, E, E, like C, like right in here. Well, I haven't decided on that. So what you do is you have your tools. So you have like your Micron pens, which are a permanent archival ink marker. And they come in different tip widths, so that say like an 08 would be fatter. This is a really skinny one. See if you can see that. Focus. Anyhow, this one's skinny. This is a 01. I have down to 0.0005. And then usually you just have like your pencil and eraser. And I did finally get around to getting the electric eraser. This is a AFMAT. It's got a cover for it. Sounds like you're at the dentist. But it works real well. And it's rechargeable USB. So that's nice. I don't have to have batteries in it. Replacing batteries and no cord or whatever, so it's really handy. So hopefully I don't have to use it a lot, but it's there when I need it. Okay, so what else she got here? She's got a Sharpie. I used to have some Sharpie, the black ones like this, but I prefer the Microns. I do have Microns in color somewhere. There's like not many different colors, like just like the basics, blue, green, red, and yellow, whatever. And then of course you've got your white kind of pens. I've got this Pentel Sunburst here. It's a little white gel pen. Oh, can't talk. And then of course just the you know, the color pencils that are white. And then, you know, your blending tools. And so I think the way that the Zentangle started off, they were just small little squares of paper, and you just did like a little small area. And then it just kind of expanded out with people's creativity and so forth. And so what you do is you just kind of do your frame. I don't know if she shows that in here. And then you just start with your pattern. And so you have like the little patterns here. And it kind of gives you the steps from the beginning, the base of the pattern, to expanding it out. And there's just all sorts of patterns in this book. So I'll use some of these as ideas for my own doodling. So this one here, this angel, I actually did it. And let me see here, I can show you. Let me show that scene. So there's my angel. So one summer I was hanging out with my mom and would go over there, and she had a patio of those kind of 12 by 12. They're not bricks, they're like paving stones. But they're gray and they're like 12 by 12. And she wanted to take that whole patio, and it was maybe like 7 feet by 8 feet. That was a pretty big area covered in those paving stones, and she was painting the whole thing. So we had like different scenes and whatever going on. I was like, I'll do one. So this angel is kind of my rendition over there. Now, of course, that's not with color pencil, that's with paint, and I'm not a paint artist. So I was kind of winging how I was doing it to get that onto the brick, onto the concrete. I think they were concrete pavers. And then further down on the bottom of it, you can see where I was doing another drawing. I think I was doing one towards the top stone, and then she had a big one over on the other side, so it was huge. And we did that during the summer. There we go. So that's where I got the idea, was from this. So this is when I first got that book. So that was, you know, a long time ago. So the whole book is just full of different patterns that you can do. You can do the little individual little itsy bitsy pieces. These itsy bitsy pieces, they're called dingbats. They're just like little motifs, individual small motifs. And so you can just pick one and start trying to fit it into your area that you're drawing. This one's not bad. It's like just like a regular Zentangle, but with some color pencil thrown in, like one color of a color pencil thrown in. So that's a pretty good book to get started with, and that's what I use to get started with. There's a website, zentangle.com, where they have a lot of patterns and whatever on there, and other people, you know, other artists are doing the same thing. So there's the little spider that I had on that one drawing with the tree. This was published back in 2010. So there's that book. And then I've also got this one Zentangle a Day. So it's a 6-week course in creative drawing by Becca Krahula. And it also has patterns. So it kind of tells you how to start and how to bring it out and make it the full, actual, repetitive. So you would like start this here and then just expand it out. And the whole book is just, here's some in color. So you would have to be like all color. I don't like the color and the black and white. So this book has a lot of good ideas as well. Now, sometimes I try and start one of these and it doesn't quite work out as well as what's on the page here in the book, but you know, I'm not like I say, I'm not a perfect artist. And you can Zentangle and Doodle Art on other items. So she's got like some pottery and looks like ceramic. It looks like resin. You can do words, letters. Here's the sepia. No, she's drawing on mica. It must be like the stone, actual like mineral mica. Here's on a cushion, on fabric. So there's lots of creative things you can do with Zentangle, and it's pretty freeform. There's no hard and fast rules. You know, most art doesn't have hard and fast rules. So this book's really good. I'll probably use it while I'm working on my next Zentangle doodle artwork. So there's my joy piece. And usually I try like in small areas, like just put like a little something here and there. And then this was the first big one that I did. It doesn't have a name. Where I was just kind of really experimenting. I do like the flower down here. That actually came out pretty good. And then I did this 3 stars because of course I'm a star person. Get it? Celestial realms. This one was interesting. This little pattern there. And then we got like the shell. Just kind of came out. So that's that one. And this one is Peace. This is another one I did with not colored pencil. I think this is gel pen. Or maybe highlighter. I don't know, some kind of marker. This was a long time ago. This is 2013. It's down here in the corner. And here I've got another flower, weird looking flower. Man, we're talking like Salvador Dali flower, right? Oh, weird. Mutated flower. Kind of like spider web type thing going there. There's a little peace sign. This is almost like a little bracelet. A little bit of color in there. I like this one here. I always like this one. So one of the things about the doodle art is that you've got kind of like the areas with the white background, and then you can actually take the thicker, the 8. If it's 0.8, I don't know. The 8 and color in the background real dark, and then kind of reverse, you know, image it. Like this one here, this section here, the background's actually black, the black, and the pattern's in the white. So of course when I was doing the little pattern, I'm like, I need a little edge, so it can't like be right up against it because you'll miss the outer lines of the pattern. So that's that one. I got a little heart in there. Then you can also use kind of like It's a special marker. I forget what they're called, but they're jelly roll. I don't want to say necessarily glow in the dark, but they're specifically for black paper, dark paper. So I bought a sketch pad that's just this black paper. It's a little thin compared to the other stuff. I've got an outline of a unicorn on here that I'm working on, but I have to go find like where I put the markers. I don't know. And then just kind of getting used to how these particular kind of markers work on the paper, because like coloring in the white here, it was like leaving lines, and I was like, what the hell? Yeah, I don't want that. So just kind of figuring out, you know, how the ink comes out of the marker, and so it's a little funky. That's why I haven't gotten back to it. And then here I was working with the sepia pens, which I showed the other day, which are these. These are Copic multiliners. And so I was kind of, my phone, was kind of experimenting with that. And then I've got, you know, the frames. I've got, there's the butterfly. This one I was working on, I think, it's so old. I think I was gonna put my husband's name in here, I think, because this kind of looks like a license plate racing thing, but I didn't finish it. And then this is another, this is just junk, a small one, got dirty. I guess this is why I should have them in a portfolio. And then this is another little small one I did. It's a little spiral. So those are my Zentangles. I have my Doodle Art, whatever. I have one that's in the shape of a star. Like the outer frame of the work is the star. I don't know where that one is. I would have to kind of figure out where it is. And, but I don't know offhand where it is. Okay, so I've got the books over here on the side. Another book that I use, at least just starting to use, is called The Art of Drawing Dangles. And they're sort of like the Doodle Art. This is by Olivia, I think it's Niebler. So it incorporates elements of Zentangle Doodle Art, but there's specific little elements within a drawing. So let's see. So you can do letters, right? So you can see like the repetitive, like the stripes here would be like a Zentangle pattern, but they're not just Zentangle, but it is kind of part in there. So really cool, very whimsical, cute. And so I was doing, say, like this one here is the star pattern. I did it on a bookmark, which I'm still working on the background. I was taking some color pencil, but now that I have the other watercolor pencils, I might actually go over this and do the background better than just trying to color it in with a color pencil. So part Zentangle and just part an element. So she's got, say, like a hard, you know, words. I mean, she's got like a place in the book where you can like practice in the book, but who would want to wreck your book by doing that? I wouldn't. And then in the back, she's got more examples of letters and then individual dangles. So you could put, say, this little element right here, like in one of your Zentangles. You wouldn't necessarily have to repeat it per se, even though some of these are repeatable patterns. You know, a lot of it just depends on what the composition is of your doodle art. So these are gift tags. There's like a bookmark. And then she's got some other more elaborate examples with the, you know, this dangling part coming down. But it's sort of Zentangly, but not so much. It's more just kind of doodle art. So pretty cool. That's another good resource for when you want to try something a little different. So it's another one that I recommend. I wanted to show you also, let me go over here into OBS. So you should be able to see the artwork that I did for my son. His name is Devin. And he's a Pisces. So you see the Pisces symbol in the upper right. And he was a Chevy guy. Got the little Chevy symbol in there. And his little group of friends were called the Lawn Ornament Bandits from when they were teenagers. There were like 3 or 4 guys together, a little group. And so he was the king. He was the king of the Lawn Ornament Bandits. And so there's the little crown and LOB. And he actually had a tattoo that had that on there. So they were real close with each other. They got into a lot of trouble, but they were really close. And then I've got some drumsticks and a little music note because he was a drummer. And then I've got the phoenix rising, a phoenix of fire rising out of the ashes, because he was always trying to come down from the dumps of his addiction and try and rise up like a phoenix. So I've got that in there. And then above the O is a little face looking kind of like a little monster face, and that is it's a dubstep EDM guy. I think it's Feed Me, something like that. But that was like one of his favorite producers, DJ guys, whatever. And so I put that in there for him. So yeah, that was one I did for my son. I also did make one for my daughter, but she actually has that one, and I don't know if I have a picture of it somewhere, like in my camera or whatever. Yeah, so that's all my little art. So what I was thinking of doing, and I found something else in there. Look at this ratty ass little rose. I must have done this when I was like 18. Maybe younger, and I still have it, and it's awful. You can see I'm not that kind of artist. Like trying to do something from memory, it's like it's a big no-go, like just not gonna work. So move that out of the way. So when I start a piece of art, so this paper is something like, I think it's called Bristol, and it's kind of slick. It doesn't feel really rough, and so that way it doesn't, when you put the ink down, it doesn't like spread across the paper. It doesn't bloom. I think they call it bloom. It just stays right there where you put it. And then normally what I do is I start off just with the pencil and do just the basic outline, and then, so let's see, probably I would start here. I did some here, and I may do, say, like over here in this area and kind of work this way down. So if I go over to, let's see, our little book. So I did, by the way, rearrange in here a little bit because I didn't like where the camera mount was, which was like right there, like right there. It's really irritating. So what I did was I have a wooden crate. Looks just like a little wooden crate. It's probably about 18 inches by 14 inches by 12 inches. Just like made out of the little slats of wood. And so I put that in the corner over there and put the TV and the sound bar on top of that. And then I found a tub. Pull it out here. Oh, it's heavy. I found a tub to hold these, the Cail Art color pencils and the Micron color pencils, and then the tripless markers, the Stabilo markers, the twistable color pencils, and then just some of the color pencils. I think these were mostly like the reds and purples. And then I've got some I've got the blending pencils here that I just got in. These are from Micron as well. I don't know if it's Karen or Micron. I'll have to listen to somebody talk about it. This is a full blender bright, and this is the pencil blender. So I got those in, just keep them here on the corner. Then I've got over here, this is the book I was coloring in, and a couple of sketch pads. I don't think there's anything in them because I haven't done any sketching in a while. So now I can easily have everything there, like handy, just reach over. And then the other color pencils I would just put to the right. And then what I'm working with just kind of like right in front of me. So a little bit better of a setup. The camera's not so much like in my face, and you know, if I need to, I can always try and like bring it down because I connected the mount arm to that crate, that wooden crate. So hopefully that'll work. And then I also did, and I don't know if you can see it, if I can move the camera. I don't know if it'll let me. Okay, there's the, I found some more, I found these markers. They're Papermate flares. I forgot I had a set of those. Like all of these are in here. So you can see they're all in there. It's a little crochet thing I made, little bag. And then I also found these pen brush markers. They're watercolor. I forgot I had those. They were in a drawer somewhere. These are by Artosh. But they're, it's like a brush. I don't know if that'll work. Stupid camera. Brush tip. I haven't really used those yet. I'm not really sure like how I would use them. I just stick that in there, but I have the fountain. If I can, see if I can get loose in this. There's the fountain. A little fountain. I like listening to the sound of the water flowing. So I have that there. So that stuff's like for me, but I have more space, working space, which is nice. And then just to my right, I would have the that big container of colored pencils. So let's see here. So I would normally just kind of figure out what I'm going to do here. So I started here, pencil. I started here, and then I just kind of look through the patterns, kind of see, you know, which one I like, or just what I feel like doing. So this is like, what, 3 circles? It's called Nebel. And it comes out looking like this. So let's see if I was going to do that. So let's say I do 3 circles just like this, like she's got them there. And I normally do the patterns in pencil because I know that if I mess up, I have the ability to just erase the mistakes that I made, so whatever. So this, it goes from the bottom to the top. I guess like that. It's like, is this in the middle? Maybe. That was kind of awkward. Let me fix that. Come up more. This is the thing. So when I'm trying to set up a pattern that I don't really know very well, especially when I haven't done any doodling in quite some time, it's very beneficial to just do it in pencil, because if I screw up, I can just erase it. Okay, so then it looks like you're coming out. Is it from the same spot? I think from the same spot. Is it ending in the same spot? Yes. Kind of like that. And then of course, if you have, you have your frame, right? So you got your frame, this is your border. So I kind of made like a partial circle there, since it's not going to go into the next area because it's bordered off. And it's been so long. Really? Crooked? It's been so long since I did any of this type of drawing. You get kind of rusty, just like anything else. If you don't use it, you lose it. So then it takes a while to get back into it. Like right now, it says, so I used to do quite a bit of role play writing, I mentioned before. These are kind of close to each other. In Ancient Worlds, that website community, and I was writing pretty much every day, every other day, and so I was like in the habit of writing. Now if I tried to write now, it would be pretty rough. Probably be awful. Okay, so do I want to do this whole area, or do I want to, no, I want to be creative. So what I'm going to do, okay, so it looks like she's going from the diagonal circles. I don't know, that's not going to necessarily look right, because it's vertical. So that just won't work, will it? I don't know, we're going to wing it. We're going to wing it. Wing it. Because that's what it's all about, right? Is winging it, figuring out what you're doing, even while you're in the midst of doing it. Jeez Louise. I think it's coming from the top. I don't know. Just gonna do it the way I want to do it. How's that? Because I can. Interesting. Okay, that's how it looks. Not quite like hers, but That's why I do it in pencil, but I'm not going to erase that because it looks okay enough. And I can make this little center section black. So what I'm going to do is maybe come around like this. And just kind of cut this off into its own little pattern area. Right? So the background of this will be black. So I have this is the 0.5. That's the 5. I have two small ones, 2.5s. And I can't even remember, where's the 8? I can't even remember how old these markers are. Like, are they dried up? So let's see. So first, 5, 1. Let's use the 5. One of the things I noticed also with doing this type of drawing, there's a lot of paper flipping. Because for some reason, the way that I draw, and I don't know if other artists run into the same problem, but the way I draw, I can't like move my wrist well enough to just keep it in the paper in one position. I mean, I wish I was that flexible, but I mean, I've got this thing that just popped up one day. I think my mom had one. I swear, as I've gotten older, I'm more like my mom than I ever imagined that I would be. And I think my, is it my moon? I think my moon's in Cancer. And Cancers are mamas, girls and boys. They're like homebodies, they're home people. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know if I can make this actually all the way dark, right? I would have to actually put like a little border around the actual design, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see the lines, right? Duh. Okay. What's my phone doing? That looks like a butterfly wing, but not after I draw this stuff in here. And probably like change the camera up a little bit. I had to stop and think for a minute what I was gonna say. Maybe like bring it down a little bit so you can see a little closer what I'm doing. Oh, that's how that looks. And I'll continue on, but I'm gonna have to put a border let's see, I'll show you. Let me see. So let's take this. No, I have one more. I have a 2 and a 3, another 5. So where's my main set? I think maybe I bought these like a year ago. There's the 1. There should be a 2 and a 3. There's the 8. Okay. So what I was talking about when I said do a border, because I'm going to make this area black in the background. And that way you can see the design back in there. So this tip, of course, is an 8. So you kind of have to be careful. Otherwise, it'll go outside your line. I usually try and go kind of with the flow of the design as far as like any pen marks or marker marks. Marker marks. Although it covers pretty evenly. They're like really slick markers. They're awesome. They'd probably be really, really good for lettering if they had the right type of tip for that, like for calligraphy, which has an angled, chiseled tip. Alright, so I'm just kind of going around and filling this in. So I had a pretty good New Year's. Quiet. I don't drink, neither does my husband, so none of that went on. Stayed up, watched the ball drop, and then Dallas had a Lone Star New Year's Eve thingamabob. Really cool drone show. Very, very cool. Company's called Sky Elements. Really, really impressed with the job that they did. Really nice. And so then of course the dogs don't know that I stayed up till past midnight the night before, so of course I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So yesterday I was pretty tired. Not like super tired, but sleepy. So that's kind of how the background, and then that little, just leaving a little space around the actual pattern so it'll stand out once I'm done with all this black in the background. She had those there. Come around like this. So as far as 2024 and this channel and my old lady self, you know, I realized the other day, I told my husband, it's like, you realize that like come around here in the right curve, that in a month and a half, I'm going to be 64. He just went, It was a great response. It's like, okay. It's like, thanks, hon, for that support. So I'll be 64. I do want to continue with my channel. And like I've said before, it doesn't need to be a mega massive channel with 1 million followers or anything. But I'd like to get it out there a little bit more. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split apart the gaming from the crafting, from the drawing and the diamond painting. And then perhaps I'll get a little bit more favor from the YouTube algorithm trap that anybody who streams on this channel, on this platform is prone to. And then maybe that'll help. And I do both, but I think that just the topic, they're just too different, I guess is the word, to be like together in one thing. You know, back in the old days, like a long time ago, people used to be adept at a bunch of different things. And then people decided that, and they were considered to be Renaissance men, that's what they are called. And I guess I am a Renaissance woman because I can do quite a few different things. I'm not a specialist in just one thing. I'm not a dabbler per se, because dabbler is just, you don't really care. You just do it now and then without like really caring about it. And I care about what I do. And so, you know, you'll find channels that just want to do one thing. Like they only talk about one thing. And that's how YouTube wants them to be, I guess. Which is a shame, because it's better to be multi-dimensional than just one-dimensional. So I will bend a little bit to that thought that, you know, the gaming should be on its own little channel. I like the way I said that, it's on a little peepee channel. That's fine. And then on this channel, and I might rename it to maybe like Celestial Realms Crafting or something. I don't know. And I'll have the drawing. It's on here. The drawing, the diamond painting, and the cross stitch. And that should keep me busy enough as far as the crafting side of things goes. And then on the gaming channel, I will continue on with my Animal Crossing island, which I really need to get back to. And I should say islands, plural, since I have more than one. And then hope for Nintendo to reveal that they've been working on a new Animal Crossing game. I'll be so happy. And then my Disney Dreamlight Valley. The other game I'm waiting for, well, I kind of ditched Fae Farm, which I was really super disappointed in. I know that they had a DLC, but I just can't. I can't get into it. I just can't. It was just so disappointing. I just don't want to go back into it. Caileadair, that's you know, here and there type of thing. I'm still thinking about whether I want to get back into it or not. I haven't decided. I'm also waiting on Ova Magica to come out. I don't know when it's going to be coming out. There's some other games on my Steam wish list that I'm waiting on. And then I have to figure out something to put here. So that's kind of the plan. I don't know. I have to figure out how to get the gaming videos from one channel to the other. I don't think they have a tool for moving them. And I think I have copies on my hard drive, but I'll look into that when I have like a day when I have energy to do that, and I'll move the gaming videos over to the other channel. Probably be just like Gaming with Cail, let's call it that. Just on my regular Caileadair YouTube account, and then I'll just have to remember when I'm streaming a game to go over there and do it over there, because I don't have any videos over there. And just kind of see how that works out. If it's too irritating to do, then, you know, maybe I just won't do gaming streams and I'll just do the crafting. Speaking of which, I ordered so I'm having second thoughts about doing the Dragon Charmer. There's something I'm not liking about it, and so I think I'm just going to set it aside for right now. This weekend I did a lot on Once Upon a Fairy Tale, and I'll probably do a stream on that maybe tomorrow, and I hope I feel well enough to do that. And then I've got the two swans in a pond, and then I've got the Mirabilia, Cassiopeia, which I'm doing a little bit here and there. So that pattern is not in, it's not a PDF, so it's not in Pattern Keeper. So it's harder for me to work on it because I'm going back and forth looking at the paper. So I made a copy of the pattern onto paper, and using a highlighter to kind of, you know, mark off where I finished, but I didn't blow it up, so it's real small. I might end up actually going to Office Depot and having them just blow the pattern up for me because it's really small and I'm so blind. But I do want to do a project that is not, what's the word? I don't know, it's more a piece of art that I really want to do. I don't know if that makes any sense. I mean, I like the Dragon Charmer, but I kind of just picked that just to do one, right? Like, Once Upon a Fairy Tale, I love the art. That Amy Stewart thing's awesome. And then I'm going to be doing her treasure hunt, but as a diamond painting. Which I still need to get the canvas and the drills for that, but that's kind of after I finish Aquarius and Bubble Wall. So it'll be sometime later on in 2024. And then, so I was kind of, you know, dangerous going through the Heaven and Earth webpage, just looking, and I think what I want to do is a mini Amy Stewart. So I think so it'll be a less intense, is that the right word? A less intense work. It's not, you know, not as big, not as many stitches. And I think on that one I'm actually going to do it a full cross stitch, since my other two, well, no, the Mirabilia is full cross stitch, but the other two are half stitch, 10 stitch. So I did order the fabric for it. I'm just going to do it in 18 count. I still have that 25 count fabric, but literally I cannot see to do diddly squat in it. unfortunately, and I'll probably end up giving that away to somebody. It's like, do you want this fabric here? Just give me like, I don't know, $10 for it, whatever. 15, 5. It didn't mean, here, just have it. Okay, that's not too bad. So now on the back side, we're gonna go like this. You went too close. Like that. Like that. And like that. It looks like a butterfly wing, but that isn't what it is. So my younger brother, the one that's 2 years younger than me, asked me if I had heard from our younger brother, the one that's 10 years younger than me, if I'd heard from him. And I was like, nope, he changed his cell phone number and now I have no way to get a hold of him, so I have no idea how he's doing. I hope he's alright. I hope he's taking his meds and not being too off the wall crazy, but I do worry about him. So I didn't hear from my daughter. I did send a little group text, Happy New Year, to my younger brother and my sister. Talk to my older brother, but we talk all the time. Yeah, family is weird. Families are weird. I have some dysfunction. Well, that's because human beings are imperfect, and our families are imperfect. And then people do stupid things to hurt their family members. Or their actions, or their words, or their neglect, or their, what's the word? Or you take advantage, you know, of your family members. Okay, so there, I got it in there with a little border. Now the question is, I guess I can take this one here. What if I come down? I mean, she's got them going vertical and kind of horizontal, but if I just draw little circles in here. Like almost like a little texture. Ooh, this hard on the eyes. Do I need a magnifying glass? I have one, but it's connected to the cross stitch stand, which I finally did get my hubby to lift for me. He goes, ah, this is tight. What did you do? Of course, it's always my fault when something like that happens. I'm like, I didn't do anything. It's hilarious. Let's make these a little darker here. Okay, let's see how that looks. It's kind of almost like, so like tiny little circles and kind of fill it in. See, that's the nice thing about this kind of drawing. You just kind of wing it. Because I had no plans to do that. until I decided to do it. It was like, oh, well, let me just put some little circles in here. Because, you know, from a distance, it just looks like it's filled in, but not filled in like this. So that's kind of how the whole Zentangle process works. I usually have my markers together. I'm usually just throwing them down. Probably really noisy. I just normally, you know, throw them down. I'll get some water. Oh, by the way, check out this Starbucks glitter blink cup. It was on clearance. I was like, I love it. I love the straw. The straw is like just so blingy. Pretty cool. My husband just looked at me like, really? Seriously? And then, you know, I've got like the erasers. Pencil. You know, my book. I can always just like, if I'm not like streaming or whatever and I'm actually working on this, I would maybe like have my tablet by my side and maybe just go to say like the zentangle.com website or just type in Zentangle or whatever and then just look at images to get ideas of patterns. You know, and just kind of do it like that. I think this eye right here, actually now that I think of it, I think that eye is what I was doing on the bottom brick below the angel. That just brings back memories. So yeah, just, you know, just winging it as you go along. Last minute decisions, spur of the moment decisions. Which are actually fine to do. I don't like this one. I need to find my number 2 and my number 3. This is number 1. Let's do that little pattern. I need to go get some breakfast, brunch, lunch. I haven't eaten all day. Bad girl. I'll probably end soon. And if you have ideas for my channel, let me know in the comments. And then you can subscribe to the channel and like the little videos. Turn on the notifications so you'll know when I'm doing something. Okay, I need like this. So I used to have the fountain over on another bookcase, but I realized that it was leaking water out. I'm like, what the hey is going on? So I had to move it. That's why it's on the desk here. I'm not used to having it there. It's actually pretty quiet. Every once in a while you hear the pump, but it's not too bad. There, I'm starting like a little, like ropey little thing there, just out of the blue. That's Zentangle for you. That's Doodle Art. Just out of the blue, you can just do whatever you want, whatever your little heart desires. it's nice freedom. You know, something like diamond painting and cross stitch are pretty rigid because, you know, you're following a pattern. So, you know, Zentangle gives you the opportunity to just really totally be free and just totally wing it as you go along. Other than like your main kind of outlines, which you can even change because you can see, you know, I changed it and made this one big section here into just two, this section and this section. That's the nice thing about it. So, anyhow, thanks for being here. I'm going to grab myself, all these books together here, grab myself something to eat, and maybe give my spouse a call, see how he's doing. I bought him some thermal underwear for his work because his shop that he works in does not have really good heat, and when they open the bay doors it's just cold in there and he hates it, and it doesn't have AC, so in the summer he burns up and in the winter he freezes. It's lovely. Anyhow, thanks for being here. Again, keep an eye on the channel. I'll notify you probably by X Twitter, and you can follow me there at Caileadair 10. But X Twitter, and also probably in the community tab here on Celestial Realms when I'm ready to do those changes, or when I've done those changes or whatever. And then that way you can go and subscribe to the Gaming with Cail channel, and then that way you can keep up with my gaming and my crafting. So have a great day, be kind, smile, don't stress out on the little stuff. Most things in life are little in the grand scheme of things, which is nice because then you don't have to stress out about them. Try and make the world a better place, and I'll see you next time.